For years, the self-storage market has been an absolute gold rush, right? But, well, that party might be coming to an end. So today, we're going to break down a masterclass from industry vets Jim and Jim on how to navigate this tough new reality. This is your playbook for not just surviving, but actually thriving. Let's get into it.
You heard it right there. The gravy train is over. I mean, that quote just says it all, doesn't it? For what felt like forever, demand was just through the roof. But now, you've got new facilities popping up everywhere, the economy's a little shaky, and the whole game is just completely changed. What worked for you yesterday, yeah, it's not going to cut it today.
All right, so what does this new reality actually look like? Let's dive into Section 1 and break down the specific challenges, the headwinds that operators are facing right now. I mean, look at this. It's basically the perfect storm. Occupancy is drifting down, customer demand not nearly as strong, and you've got these new aggressive competitors opening up left and right. And this isn't just a gut feeling, you know? The numbers don't lie. One management group, they saw inquiries drop by 2,000 across their stores in just 1 year. If that's not a wake-up call, I don't know what is. So this really gets to the heart of it. The big takeaway is that your whole mindset has to shift. The days of people just calling or renting online without a second thought, they're over. You've got to put that sales hat back on. You're not just a clerk taking an order anymore. You're a consultant, a problem solver. When that phone rings, you're not just spinning out the price for a 10 by 10. You're asking smart questions, figuring out what that customer really needs, and building value way before you even mention a price.
Okay, so that brings us right to our second section. If you're going to have to fight for every single lead, well, you'd better have a plan. So let's open up the new marketing playbook, the one that's built for this exact kind of environment. And here it is, the million-dollar question, right? How in the world do you get the phone to ring now? When it feels like nobody's calling, when you're swimming in a sea of competitors, how do you make your facility the one that stands out and grabs those precious leads? All right, think of this as your digital battle plan. And you know what the best part is? A lot of this starts with stuff that's totally free. First, you've got to maximize that Google business profile. It's a powerhouse. Then you go all in on getting customer reviews. After that, you can start optimizing your website for search. That's SEO. Maybe use a lead aggregator like Sparefoot. And here's the kicker. You have to test your entire digital journey from start to finish. Find the cracks before your customers. Seriously, whatever you do, do not sleep on reviews. They are so much more than just window dressing. They are a literal trust-building machine. Google's algorithm absolutely loves them, and you know who else does? Your potential customers. I mean, check this out. One operator put a new system in place and got 121 reviews in a single month from just 256 rentals. Can you imagine the kind of trust that builds when a new customer sees that? That's how you get a serious edge. And here's a brilliant, practical tip for making sure you're getting what you pay for. It's so easy to just write a check to an SEO agency and hope for the best, right? But the experts say you have to test it yourself. Here's how. Open an incognito or private browser window. That's key so your own search history doesn't skew the results. And just search for self-storage in your town. Where do you show up? Are you on page 1 or page 5? The answer might just shock you. Okay, so you've done the work, your marketing is clicking, and the phone is finally ringing again. That's awesome. But guess what? That's only half the battle. Now, you got to answer the frickin' phone. This next section is all about capturing those leads you worked so hard to get before they just vanish. In today's world, responsiveness is everything. It's the new competitive advantage. Think about it. We live in a need-it-now society. If you don't get back to a lead within, say, 15 or 30 minutes, they're gone. They are already on the phone with the next facility on the list. Speed isn't a nice-to-have anymore. It is the price of admission to play the game. So, let's pause here for a second, because I really want you to think about this. How much is one single missed call truly worth? It's so easy to just shrug it off, right? Oh, well, another one will call. But what's the real, cold, hard cash value of that person you just missed? The answer might be a lot higher than you think. How about $2,000? That's right, $2,000. That's the potential lifetime value of one single rental. Just let that sink in for a minute. Every time that phone rings and goes to voicemail, that could be $2,000 evaporating. So we have to reframe this in our minds. A missed call isn't just a missed call anymore. It's a potential $2,000 mistake. As soon as you and your entire team start thinking about it that way, everything changes. Suddenly, answering every single call, every single web lead, becomes the most important thing you do all day. All right, now that we know the value of every rental, let's talk about how to protect it.
This is all about building a fortress of operational discipline, making sure that not a single one of those valuable leads can ever escape. Think of these as the new non-negotiables, the essential habits for your operation. First off, if a new customer calls, they need to talk to a live person, period. Use a call center, whatever it takes, but answering machines are where leads go to die. Second, every single inquiry gets logged in your management software, no exceptions. And use tracking phone numbers so that you actually know where your calls are coming from. And finally, you have to drill this into your managers. Don't just take a name and number on a sticky note. If it's not logged in the system, that lead doesn't exist.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about discipline. Let's see how it applies in the real world with a classic, real-world headache, the problem tenant. This case study shows how to tackle one of the toughest issues you can face. So on the left, you see what the manager in this story did, and it's what a lot of us might do. You accept a partial payment here and there, you bend the rules for this one person because they have a sad story, and you just kind of wait and hope for the best. On the right, you see what the experts advise, and it's all about that discipline we mentioned. Never accept partial payments, treat every single customer the same, serve an immediate vacate notice when the lease is broken, and get an industry lawyer involved. It's tough, but it's the right way.
There's a great piece of advice from an industry icon, Bob Copper. He said, avoid the isms. What does that mean? No favoritism, no cronyism. Basically, no giving special treatment just because you like someone or they tell a good story. You treat everyone exactly the same, and you let the lease be the law. That kind of consistency isn't just good business, it's what keeps you out of legal hot water.
All right, let's bring this all together. Section 6 is all about the new operational mindset you've got to have to not just survive, but actually dominate in this tougher market. This might be the most important takeaway of all. If you ever hear yourself or someone on your team say the words, "Well, that's the way we've always done it," that should be a massive red flag. That phrase is an absolute recipe for failure in today's market. Things are just moving way too fast for that kind of thinking. You have to constantly be questioning, improving, and innovating.
So here's your path forward. This is your checklist. Number 1, be proactive and not passive. Stop waiting for the phone to ring and go make it ring. Number 2, hold your vendors accountable. Ask them the tough questions. Make them show you the results. 3, become a customer. Test your own systems. Call your own store. Fill out your own web form. And finally, embrace technology that makes it incredibly easy for people to do business with you. And that brings us to the final thought I want to leave you with. It's a question, really. The experts in this field, they say you should always be trying to break your own systems to find the weak spots before a customer does. So my question to you is, which system are you going to break first? What's the one process, the one assumption in your business that you're going to challenge this week to make your operation stronger? The clock's ticking.